Hello again. I am making up for the two videos that I did not do on Thursday and Friday. So that's my bad. But we are getting closer and closer to the end of the Gospel of Mark and really touching on really just incredible parts to the Passover, to the events in the garden, really, because I'll go into quite a bit of detail when we get into there. The uh the denial, I cannot English there. The denial of Peter three times, and um just the beauty, but also the hardship that comes, because there's a beauty to everything, because the love that Christ has for us, the fact that he was willing to sacrifice for us, the fact that he was willing to suffer for us, and then which leads to excuse me, the flogging, or the whipping, if you prefer just to say whipping, the um the mockery, the crown of thorns, and so on, and the fact that there are so many things that we assume, or we guess, you could have done it differently to not have to go through the pain that he did, but he was willing to take that cup that we never could. And so it is a beautiful image. Now, the first Lord's Supper, I just put the Lord's Supper, but the first Lord's Supper, uh which um which is incredible. Let's just get into it. As they were eating, he took bread, blessed and broke it, gave it to them, and said, "Take it. This is my body." Then he took a cup, and after giving thanks, he gave it to them, and all drank from it. And he said, "This is my blood of my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many. Truly I tell you, I will no longer drink of the fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new in the kingdom of God." After singing a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Uh Let me see if there's anything specific, because there's a lot of, obviously, like, reference points to the other gospels, and to the little details that is is put throughout the other gospels for the Lord's Supper. For instance, let me actually get into the other gospels for this one spot. I forgot what chapter it was, um for the Gospel of Matthew. Here it is. Take and eat it. This is my body, which was for the bread, and uh, the same the same for same as Mark. Okay, and then for the Gospel of Luke, here we are. Uh, I'm going to read. It is chapter 22, 14, and following. So, when the hour came, he reclined at the table, and the apostles with him. Then he said to them, "I have fervently desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I tell you, I will not eat it again until it is fulfilled in the kingdom of God." Then he took a cup after giving thanks. He said, "Take this and share it among yourselves. For I tell you, from now on I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God comes." And he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, gave it to them, and said, "This is my body, which is given for you, do this in remembrance of me. In the same way, he also took the cup after supper and said, after supper, he said, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you. But look, the hand of the one betraying me is at the table with me. For the Son of Man will go away as it has been determined, but woe to that man who is by whom he is being betrayed." Which is interesting to us with that part. And honestly, I honestly will just go to the other the Gospel of Matthew, John, and touch on how he uh, touches on that. Let me see if I can predict it. No, that's not what I wanted. Hmm, it does not say, or I just am missing it. I also don't want to take too long looking at the passage while being recorded. That's just weird. Uh, but with all of that being said, you know, the taking of the bread, people always imagine, him taking a loaf and breaking it, but it wouldn't have been a loaf like that because it's non-leavened. So it would have been like probably been a little bit thinner. But and then taking of the blood of the covenant and it being poured out for many. One of the things that people seem to always think about is Catholics do this. I'm not dissing any Catholics or anything. I'm choosing to just kind of not, but say anything specifically about them specifically with that, even though I find it weird. But many Catholics believe that uh, the the wine or the grape juice for many Baptists, it becomes his blood, which is no, it doesn't. But he is with us when we are taking it because is his promise is his covenant with us, the covenant that he poured out on the cross, and the bread being his body, which again is not. It's weird, but um, I find it important to acknowledge because it was the Gospel of Luke that actually mentioned it twice that he would not eat of the bread or eat of the or drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God comes. Uh, and I find it important the aspect that it was, as they were eating, like this one specifically says, as they are still eating, he took the bread, blessed it, and broke it. And then it seemed to kind of skip because he took a cup and after giving thanks, it gave it to them and all drank from it. Actually, it was also the Gospel of John as no, the Gospel of Luke. I'm sorry, that mentioned after supper, and so it's important of the remembrance of what we do when we take the Lord's Supper. I think it's important for us when we are doing the Lord's Supper to always remember why we are doing it, to remember, excuse me, the purpose behind it and the um um and the imagery and the fact that it was his blood that was poured out for us on the cross that was coming within a day or two from this point on. And so it is a sad moment, but it is also a joyful moment because, yes, the blood was poured out for us on the cross. Yes, he suffered on the cross. Yes, he um, had to go through what he went through, but he rose again 3 days later. He ascended and is at the right hand of the Father, waiting to return to make all things new again. And so, yeah, I could go on for a while talking about this, but it's really just one of those things where um, we don't talk about it enough, and we don't find the importance of everything about this enough so that we can actually get into the um, aspects of how important the Lord's Supper really is. And so let us take the time and really get into it. Every time we take the Lord's Supper, let us remember these words. When we take the Lord's Supper, let us um, sing a hymn. It says after singing a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. I think it's important to sing hymns and to know what the purpose was. Take this bread in remembrance of him, and then taking the grape juice, or I know some churches do use wine, but most churches use grape juice. So taking that and remembering the blood that was poured out on the cross those few days later. So again, I want to repeat what I said in the last video I recorded not too long ago. Um, the fact that I am a few days behind, but I didn't get to the next week before recording, so you're welcome. And so let us make sure to keep on keeping on. We're almost done. I know y'all have a week off, so I hope you have a fantastic week with your families. I know that a lot of teachers get this week off, so I hope that everyone who is a teacher gets a good break and can have that time with their families. And for those who are traveling, I pray for safety, and I pray that if you having to be with family that kind of gets on your nerves or can make you stressful, I hope that you can still show love, and you still show kindness to them in all that you do. All right, I will catch y'all next week.